So we're in Clovis, California, master bathroom, getting ready to set a toilet out at Home Depot. It's a Kohler Highline Classic, round front, and I think it's a comfort height. So we got the old one pulled up. You've got a couple things going on here. You can see the roots that are growing into the system. You would really need to get probably out to this tree right here. That's where the roots are coming from, and then they're penetrating right through here. And so that will continue, and I don't know if it'll actually get up into the toilet area or get down into the waistline, but you can see the roots are growing in, and it's starting right in there. Additionally, you can see the flange is defective, not defective, but it's been bent up. It's hard to kind of tell unless you're looking at it from where I am, but one side is bent up extremely. I mean, both sides are pulled up pretty good. And that's not us, that's existing. The flange, it seems like it's pretty secure to the floor as long as there's no up or down movement. We should be able to get the toilet set still. Anyway, so we're out at a rental property, and the only thing we like about rental properties is sometimes the work that we propose and we complete gets lost in the translation between myself, the contractor, the owner, and the tenant. And so we're taking a little leap of faith here that it all goes well. Anyways, we're going to get this toilet set. We're going to get some new bolts in there, new wax rings, replace the supply line, turn the water on, and then hopefully all is well. When we got here, there was water all over this floor, all the way over to the shower area. I don't know where it came from or why, but it was pooled up over here. So there's a towel sitting here behind the toilet. We dried the floor up pretty good. It looks like it's drying out, so it looks like it should be okay. If you saw a continuous water flow that was not from the toilet, then you need to start looking for something else in here. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and get this toilet set, take another video when we're done. Still here in Clovis, California, we wanted to take a little video in between the final installation to show you the closet bolts. As you can see right here, this is the edge that's bent up pretty far, and it's causing the bolt to get mounted at kind of a weird angle. You can see the washers compressed all the way on one side, and it kind of sits up on a lip and hangs down. So we're not thrilled about that, but there's nothing we can do. It's the plastic right there that's bent up so far that's kind of tilting the bolt over. We did have to take it, once we got it installed, it was pointing in toward the toilet and forward, so we had to bend it back. We'll be able to get it installed, but I just don't like it when the flange is bent so far, and you can see, there's, trying not to move my camera, but there's a little bit of movement in the flange. So anyways, just want to get a video of that, and we'll take another one when we're done. So one more little video, and we'll combine all these and give you one full video in the end, just to show you the bowl set. And so the tile's a little off. If you go around the perimeter, if I can get you a picture, you can see that it's a little uneven, which simply means some parts of the bowl, and I know it's hard to track with the camera, but some parts of the bowl are actually down on tile, and other parts of the bowl are not. And so what we like to do is wherever it's up in the air, we like to get you a nice shim in there. The only place we could get one in that was is right here in the front. You can see that little piece of plastic sitting in there. And without shaking the camera too much, this is the sound that we're looking for when we put in the bowl, this here. So I'm kind of shaking around so you can't really get a steady picture, but what I'm doing is I'm banging on the side of the toilet, and that tells me whether there's movement. Plus, we're picking it up and down here, and plus we're rocking it back and forth here. Now, the bolts, those nuts are not as tight as we normally tighten these, and the reason being, as we showed you in the first video, the flange is bent. If you continue pulling against that, you will damage the flange. It's already about halfway through its life cycle. It should be okay, but we're not going to over tighten this. So just be very gentle with this. I know that there's a unique situation here with the landlord and the tenant, but just monitor this. Like I say, you can hear when you hit it, you can hear kind of like a rattle. Hear that? It's not a rattle, but you can tell there's a little bit of looseness. If we try and take it up there, we're going to break that flange. So this is set to the best of our ability, and I think probably 99% of the other plumbers in town, it's as tight as it's going to get. So don't bump it around, don't dance on it, don't stand on it. Just be real gentle with it, and that flange should be okay. If you hit it too hard and you crack that flange, then you're into easily $500 repair for the flange and then resetting the toilet again. So just be gentle with it. We'll snug it up a little bit more, put the caps on, and set the tank. Take another video when we're done. Okay, still here in Clovis, California. Last portion of the video, promise this time. Toilet's installed, tank's installed. We did replace the supply line. That's a Fluid Master 3/8 by 7/8 by 20-inch braided stainless steel supply line. Shutoff valve is specific to the home, so that's original. Home was built in the 90s, can't remember exactly what year. We did check the shutoff valve though. You can see it's the old style multi-turn with the plastic stem and the packing nut. And right now you can see it is dry, not dripping. So that's good news, because usually what happens when you turn these off to work on a fixture, whether it's a toilet or a sink, these things start dripping. So no water. Now that's not our valve, so we don't warrant that. We did put the supply line in, so you certainly want to monitor this. And this is for the landlord, this is for the tenant. You know, your whole house, everything here, you always want to monitor for water, because once water gets away from you, it's too late. Then you got, flooding, you got mold, stuff like that. So monitor this point of connection, and that's where it hooks up to the tank. It's pretty easy, once the floor is dry, it should remain dry, all the way around the toilet. It should stay dry. And so this area is a little bit wet from whatever moisture was here this morning. Dried it up with the towel, so it should be good. Everything else is tightened on good. You could see, the new donut that sits in there, the little gasket, part of the flush valve assembly that goes in there. That's nice and tight. The tank's nice and tight. It fills correctly. It shuts off correctly. And it flushes correctly. Those are the main things right there. So seats in, it's caulked in, let that dry 24 hours before you do any mopping in here. Otherwise it'll wash out of there, or whether we start sweeping things around and it'll stick to the nice white dap that's on the floor. Like I say, the only thing that I'm not thrilled about is that the flange is bent, and so it doesn't allow us to tighten this down as much as we would like to. But that's all we have to work with. So it's tight. It's, the problem's resolved. Brand new toilet. Use it gently, and it should last you for the duration of the home. Outside of that, this installation is done.